Are you nervous about doing a listing presentation? Well, this video is for you. We have live realtors doing a listing presentation, and Dot Hicks from Maryland, she moderates these, she organized. So stay tuned and watch this presentation because it's excellent.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday and happy 4th of July. Today is a wonderful day, and we have an amazing treat in store for you. We have superstar Noemi Lalomba, who will be providing her expired listing presentation, inspired by Jessica Nelson. And we have superstar Lily Handy Dominguez, who will be the seller. So superstar Noemi, why don't you go ahead and give us some information about yourself, and then Lily, provide us with some information about yourself, and then we'll get started with today's presentation.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming today on the 4th of July, and happy 4th of July. My name is Noemi Nilomba. I am based in Dallas, Texas. I have been a real estate agent for 3 years and 3 years and a half. I am currently working on my broker license, which I'm so excited. And I'm here for constructive feedback, and hopefully I can add a lot of value to you and help you in your journey as well.
Well, we already know you're going to add a whole lot of value because you've added a whole lot of value just by showing up, superstar Noemi Lalumba. Awesome, awesome. Superstar Lily Handy Dominguez, please give us some information about yourself.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. And I love being here. So this will be awesome. So I'm a retired engineer that went into real estate investing and became a realtor in Southern Oregon and became an expert in short sales. And then I moved back to Texas in 2011, got my license here in 2014. And did 5 years in the Rio Grande Valley, which is South Texas, close to the Mexican border, and then moved to San Antonio about 2019, and loving it here. So it's a pleasure to be here, and let's get it rolling.
All right. With that being said, superstar Noemi Lalomba and superstar Lily Handy Dominguez, take it away.
Sure. I am going to share my screen now. Just want to confirm if you can see my screen. Perfect. Good morning, Mrs. Lily. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. I am extremely excited by getting your property ready for the market and eventually getting it sold. The first thing that I'm noticing, oops, it's not allowing me to, sorry. I'm so sorry, just 1 minute. I have a technical issue here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So the first thing that I noticed is how tasteful your property is furnished. When we do receive offers, are we going to include all the contents of the property, or are you going to take everything with you?
When I leave, I will take everything with me, or I will sell it to buyers if they're interested, because I bought an RV, so I can't fit everything in there.
Yeah, that's good to know. So I can make sure I mention on the MLS so there's no confusion with the buyers when they do similar offers. Great. So again, thank you for the opportunity to be of service. And I usually like to start this conversation by asking, have you already decided that you are going to sell this property?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we are definitely going to drive around the country. So there's no looking back. There is no renting the property, no one to move in.
No,
Just
no
the
one to
cats.
move in, don't want to rent it. Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And according to our last conversation, you said that you already moved out. It's just the furniture and the property, so you already on the road, correct?
Well, I'm doing short trips within about an hour or 1 to 3 hours from the home. So I still live in the home, and so I go out and I come back because I've got 3 cats at home.
Okay, sounds good. So I know we discussed slightly about the numbers over the phone, and I promise that when we do, maybe we'll go over that in details. But I do have a question. Have you decided that you want to sell the property based on what the market can give us today, or are you okay and willing to wait 2 to 3 years until you really, really get what you're looking for?
No, I want to sell it now because we never know what the market's going to do.
I agree with you on that. That is right. Okay. I sent over an email yesterday or this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Have you seen the info or maybe check our 5-star review online?
You know what? I didn't, Noemi. I've got plans and I've been busy this morning, so I did not.
I agree with you. And I'm not gonna hold you too long here. This meeting should take about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how many questions you might have. And I do understand that I'm a French speaker, so if you don't understand a word that I'm saying, don't feel offended. You can just interrupt me.
I'll let you know.
All right. So you mentioned that you were actually looking for a honest, sincere agent. Communication was very important for you, marketing, and also you mentioned something very interesting that you are looking for an agent who knows how to prospect. Have you been in the industry before?
Actually, yes, I'm a retired realtor.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm glad that you mentioned everything there, and I'm very confident that I have everything that you need, and hopefully we can just stop the meeting right here and today.
Sounds
So,
good.
okay, sorry, you guys are not hearing the background noise, okay? Or I can, sorry about that.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm sorry too.
perfect.
I have the radio on. Is that bothering you, Noemi?
I can barely hear that, but if, I think it's fine. We can just continue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So, would you like me to go ahead and start with just give you a brief introduction about me and my company, or would you like to go straight to the numbers or the marketing?
You know what? Let's go. As I mentioned, I'm a numbers person and I'm familiar with real estate, and I checked you out a little bit online. So let's just go into the numbers and the marketing and what you can do for me to get it sold this time around. Not you, but
Perfect.
get it sold after it's been expired.
I agree. Let's go ahead with the numbers and then I can show you exactly, what are you paying for. Mm, Sorry. Okay. So as you do know here in America, the higher your credit score is, the better it is. So we do have a similar evaluation when it comes to in our industry when it comes to this selling score. The selling score here for your property is showing 97, so which is very high. It's placing you in very, very high. This is just to show you how likely your home is going to sell, like how fast your house is going to sell. And also it's giving you a price range of 431 to 481. And my system is confident that at 456, you should be able to get a buyer. That's just like a rough estimate. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the comps and see other similar property that have been sold in the past 90 days and are actually active, which will be our competition. Well, before we go ahead and look at these numbers, I just wanna I just wanna let you know that we are here as a team. I'm not here to tell you how much your house is worth. We can go ahead together and look over those numbers and decide at what price is good for our property so we can be able to get it sold faster and have you on the road on your journey. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. We had three sold and we had three actives. I pulled the best one that I can. As you can see, most of them are 4 to 3 bedrooms, which are closer to yours. and close to same square footage, and also same numbers of bathroom. So I do remember the last time you were on the market, you were listed at 493. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. How did you come up with the number? Did you go over the comps with your agent, or did you just tell her how much the property should be
No,
listed at?
she presented an evaluation, and I also, due to my experience, I also researched it myself on different websites.
Yeah, yeah. So probably, as you already know, that the market is actually going a little bit down, but we are here to get you the most money possible as we can. So here you have the price. Well, the three property that just sold, the average price per square footage is 201. Average price is 455, and the average square foot per houses is 2260, which is close to yours. Yours is 2219. Am I correct?
Correct.
And what we do have active right now is 200, and we have an average of 2236 per square footage. You were on the market for, I believe, 120 or 25 days, while the average days on the market in our area is 29 days. So I am very confused why your property didn't sell. And I'm sure
Yes,
you're
so am
asking
I.
the same
That's a
question.
long
Yeah.
time when you have 29 days on the market. So I probably didn't pressure the realtor or didn't advise me, present new evaluations. And that's why I'm asking for more communication. And I mentioned on our call that if it's not selling, I want you to show me what the latest numbers are so that we can get it sold.
And I don't blame you on that, because there are usually three reasons why a property won't sell. The first one is the condition of the property, the second one is the price, and the third one is the agent. And if it's the price and the condition, it's usually, most of the time, the agents. Do you
Mhm.
agree with me, or do you think I'm wrong?
No, typically it's price, location, and condition. So those are in my experience, the top three: price, location, condition. Then comes, the marketing, the realtor, that type of thing. If the realtor is proactive or not. So, it's kind of like I want an aggressive bulldog, or pit bull type of realtor. Are you a little bit like that?
Yeah, well, I'm an active and aggressive agent, and you will see in a minute once we go over the numbers. And I like that. I like the fact that you mentioned everything there. Everything that you just mentioned just fall under the umbrella of those three main points, which is condition and the price. And why I say it's always the agent, because the agent is responsible, like you mentioned, that there were no communication. You didn't see the letters number. The agent is responsible of really be honest with you, like you were looking for an agent who's honest with you, to go over based on the location or the condition of the property where we need to be priced to provide value in the eye of the buyer. So I'm not blaming the agent. I do believe that every agent they have a certain level of knowledge when it comes to selling real estate. But in your situation, you need a more advanced agent, a more experienced agent, and that's why I'm here. So again, if I was your agent every single week, and we'll go over the weekly report very shortly at the end, if I was your agent every single week, I would keep you updated about those numbers so we don't sit on the market and chase the market. Because these three houses, like for example, the last property here, they were able to go under contract after 10 days. They were able to find a buyer after 10 days while we were still on the market looking and waiting. The second property here, same thing. They were able to find a buyer after 16 days. And this first property here, it took them 61 days, but they ended up by actually getting a buyer while we were still on the market for over 125 days. So if we had looked over these numbers every single week, we would be able to know that who these this seller actually went on a contract. Let me do more further research to figure out what happened, how much the property went on the contract for, to give us a clear idea on where we need to be, or if we where we have to adjust the price. Okay. So houses price, like I mentioned, at 201 per square foot, they were able to find a buyer under 30 days closed and sold funded. Isn't that what you want? Be able to get this property sold and just go on the road.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And that's exactly what we are going to do when we go back on the market.
I mean, I want to
So
sell it quickly, but I want the best price, of course. We always think our home is worth more than everybody else. Even realtors think that. And however, I've got to
absolutely.
be realistic. I really want to do the traveling. So I want to see, compared to other realtors, what you can do for me to make that happen.
Absolutely. And I do agree with you on that. And I just want to clarify that I'm not here for a quick sell. I am here to help you get the most money possible. And I like the fact that you mentioned you need someone who's gonna be sincere. I can present to you all the marketing strategy that you want, but if we're not priced where the buyers, the real market, where they cannot see the value of, buying your property, we're just gonna waste our time, and it's gonna be another 6 months. And we are going over the numbers, and together we are going to decide where we need to be priced, like a fair amount, not just giving away and also not hoping and guessing. So when we were on the market last time, we were at 493, like slightly under 494, which was 222 per square footage. However, the current market shows that homes are selling for around 201 per square foot and are able to find the buyers within 30 days. Now, I know we're gonna go over the property that just closed and sold, but so far here, at what price do you think we should list the property to attract a buyer quickly?
Well, I realize that the market has changed in the last couple of months. And here in Texas, I mean, we have like high inventory. Our inventory, I've noticed online that the inventory has increased. So there's tremendous competition and not enough realtors. So, yeah, based on looking at these numbers, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, we were priced at maybe close to what it could have sold, but it didn't. It should have gone lower. So I want to hear what you have to recommend on a price before I tell you what I think.
I like that. So when you want to market, what I really like about your property is that you did receive some showings, but you didn't have any offers at all, which is a good sign. Um, Usually when you do have offers, I mean, you do have showings, no offers, it usually indicates that the property is probably 5 to 10% higher, really over the asking price. If you have some showings, maybe one offer, or no offers but five showings, your property is usually overpriced by 5%. If you have multiple offers, multiple showings, it usually indicates that your property is underpriced by 2%. The truth with the real estate industry or the sales industry is that you can never ever underprice a property, but you can always overprice it, and the market is going to correct us. If we do underprice a property, and we can utilize the auction strategy where we underprice it just to create a value out of buyer, and to have at least one or two offers, create like a bidding war and try to get you a higher amount that you could get by you just sitting on the market, then we should consider that route. Or if you want to wait, like I said, if you want to wait 2, 3, 4 more years, then we can, price it where we all believe that it needs to be, and then just chase the market. However, we have to sell the property, but also we don't want to give it away. So that based on that, where do you believe that we need to be priced? I'm just gonna help you.
So what
The
do you
current market.
recommend? As I mentioned, I want to know what you recommend.
Sure. So what I'm doing is just helping us to, I'm also looking at this on the CMA. I want to help you get the most that you can get, and we can just go over that together. So based on the market, property are selling for 201, and your property, all I have to do is just 201 times 2020 20 2219, sorry. It's placing you at 446. That's based on the market, 446. Now, I don't want you to just take these numbers as if. Let's go ahead and actually look at the property that just sold. You were listed at 493. This property is just the street behind you. It was listed at 475. They actually sold it for 473. It was 210 per square foot, 61 days, 2016, slightly bigger than yours, but it has one more bedroom than yours. But that's not the cherry on top of the cake. The cherry on top of the cake is this property has a pool.
Yeah,
We
got
do
it.
not have a pool.
Okay.
So we were asking for way more than a property that actually had a beautiful pool. So you also have this property here on Falcon Drive, 450. They finally sold for 435, 16 days on the market, really under $200 per square foot. It's a 2020, just like ours, our property, slightly bigger than us, has one more bedroom than yours, and sold for 435, 16 days on the market. Same thing here. You have a property listed at 465, sold at 457, 201, 10 days on the market, 1 year older than us, slightly bigger, has one more bedroom than us, but same numbers of bathroom. The reason why I'm showing you this closed listing that just sold actually in the month of June, is because the appraisal is going to look at these numbers. And if you do know that most buyers usually go to the financing route, and the last thing that I want is us going on the contract and the appraisal didn't meet the asking price, and we have to drop drastically the price. So I just want to be honest
Understood. And
upfront.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Noemi. Yeah, and I like your comparison. This is similar to what I used to do. And so, yeah, I get the picture. I have to go lower. My prior realtor didn't, yeah, I wasn't so pressured and I hadn't bought the RV yet. So, I was kind of just letting it go, take the time, and the market kind of just went kaput, somewhat here in the area. So, yes, I realize that we need to do a price reduction. So what do you recommend?
Well, let's take a look at this active property. This is our competition. If we go back on the market, this is going to be our competition. And we have two properties on the same street. These are our neighbors right here.
Mhm.
So as you can see, none of them are above 460. None of them. This is your neighbor, your direct neighbor. They are listed at 449.
Mhm.
And the Arsenal market, well, fairly new on the 30 days, just 28 days, but it's 1 year newer than us, same number of square foot, and also same numbers of bedroom and bathroom.
Okay, I get it. So what do you recommend? I see the my competition or our
Yeah.
competition there. Okay.
I would
And
love to have your input on, I would love to have your input, like where do you think we need to be priced? We
look,
I'm not pricing the
Noemi, like
property.
I'm like I mentioned on the call, I'm interviewing 3 realtors, right? And you're the first
Okay.
one. I have 2 more after you. So just get to the point and let me know what you think, what you
So
recommend.
the best, yeah, absolutely. When well, based on the comps, I'm not pricing your home. Based on the comps, I have a strong belief that we need to be positioned right in the middle here, right in the middle. So
So you
when you
mean
do
middle
201,
between 4, I'm sorry to interrupt you, sorry.
yeah, 449 and well, like slightly lower than this one, because when you do 201 times the 2219, that's the square foot of your property, is taking you to 446. So to stand
Let me
out and to
ask
be
you,
well positioned on the market.
Why do you think 4500 Mimosa has been on the market 128 days and very close price, has a larger lot? So it's 4 years older than the 2021, which is Ash Avenue. So, and even taxes are lower, right? So why do you
Are
think
you
that one hasn't sold in 128 days? Have you seen that
so
property?
I haven't I've seen these two properties, but I haven't seen this one. Again, like I said, like I mentioned at the beginning, there are multiple reasons why a property won't sell. So I see the property is well presented online. Also, we have to keep in mind that the specific subdivision or community have a very strong reputation of now not selling faster. So if you go back all the way like 6 months or 12 months back, you will see that a lot of properties are really taking some time to sell. But I'm here to help you beat that number. So that's what I'm mentioning, that if this property didn't sell, probably because the agent is not proactive, or again, they're not receiving the feedback that they need to adjust on the market so they can have a better chance. But that is good for us because we don't have to worry about them. All we have to do is to be priced correctly where all eyes will be on us and attract more people to come to us.
Correct. So I see, the other one, Ash Avenue, which is pretty close to, uh, it's kind of between, well, it's a little bit past 2821 and 2923. So that one's been on the market 36 days. And it's about, same square footage, same lot, and priced for less. And it still hasn't sold.
Hmm.
And you said you saw that one.
Yeah, I saw that one. Again, it's well presented online. That might be a marketing issue as well from the agent. And that's the reason why I mentioned that everyone can just put a price in front of the MLS. I did say yesterday that you have two type of agents. You have active, you have passive agent, and you have aggressive and active agents. I can't really speak on what the agent is doing. Clearly, if the property is still on the market
Mm-hmm.
and the price is good because we went over the comps, the price is fair and it's still not selling, then that might be something with the agent. Back to what I was saying, that the
Okay,
agent
that
needs
is
to revise
possible
the
because
strategy.
I
Yeah.
I mentioned I wanted a proactive agent, and I apologize. I seem to be
No, no, no
interrupting you.
problem. It's my pleasure. Yeah, absolutely. So again, we went over these numbers. How confident and comfortable do you feel about the price?
Yes, I realize I've got to drop the price, and although the property is free and clear, um, it's it's still an expense, right? Especially if I want to get on the road. So I like your comparison. I understand your recommendation as much as I want to get the most. And so, okay, so tell me, what are you going to do differently that's going to get it sold based on those two on Ash 28 and 29, Ash Avenue, because they've been on the market the least, 4,500 Mimosa, 128 days. Yeah, that would be similar kind of to where I was before at a higher price.
I, yeah, you're right. So again, pricing the property is one thing. It's really, really good. And then when you combine it with the very strong and aggressive marketing, it just create magic. So I just wanted to share with you this little insight about my past sales and my team sales.
I like that
You have
little boy reaction.
right. You do have some past sales that we have here. Seller, you have buyer and seller, and you also have buyer and seller, but here it says both. I'm just gonna ask you a quick question. What do you think this is actually means?
Okay, I'm sorry. Repeat what you say. I couldn't see I had to move the screen. What did you say about that? Represented by buyer and seller. So the realtor is representing both. Is that what you're saying?
No. So we have seller, seller, buyer, and seller. This actually means that the listing agent was able to find a buyer for the seller.
Oh, yes,
So
correct.
if
Okay,
I
gotcha.
market your property, I'm able to generate buyers and actually bring them to your home. I never represent the seller and the buyer at the same time. They can be unrepresented or they can be referred to one team member. I don't know if you have spoken with other agents before. I don't know if the agents that you're going to speak with after me are going to be able to actually show you that they are able to sell their own listing.
Okay,
I
now,
know.
Noemi, when I was a realtor, I learned in Oregon, and we used to represent both sides. So I have experience working with both sides. I take one seller hat off and then I put buyer hat off. And, ethics are extremely important to me coming from engineering background. So, and keeping everything very confidential. That is crucial to me. Never
Yeah.
sharing the price. Some realtors will share the price if they call you and they ask you, so what kind of offer did you get? And they might say, well, yeah, we did get that. No way. Okay. I do not respect that because, we're supposed to represent our client and fiduciary and not share any pricing at all. So in no
Yeah.
time do I want you to share with any realtor, about that. So being said, I'm okay with a realtor representing the seller, okay, representing me and being able to negotiate with the buyer that they attract on the marketing and make the transaction work. Because sometimes those go faster. So are you able to do that? Do you have the experience to be able to work with both sides and keeping your
So here,
fiduciary to me?
absolutely. So here in Texas and with EXP, I am not allowed to represent the seller and the buyer at the same time.
Well, you're
And
not
if a buyer,
representing them, okay, at the same time. You're only representing
Mhm.
the seller. Okay,
Yeah,
you would just write the offer for the buyer, not representation. Okay, so you write the offer for the buyer and you let them know, I can't represent you, I can't guide you, I can't give you advice. You have to make that on your own, but I can facilitate the close.
I do not do that. I'm not allowed to do that. All I have to do, I can attract the buyer and I'm going to refer the buyer to a team member or let them sign an unrepresented disclosure. That's what we do. And
Okay,
I
that's
have the,
acceptable.
yeah, yeah, I have to protect your best interest. And of course, I must disclose to you that this buyer who just made an offer came from my lead generation um, online lead or wherever they found my information. And I cannot. And most of those buyers love to be unrepresented. So what I usually do, because my goal is to help you make the most money at closing, I usually refer them to a team member for a discounted commission. So you might end up by paying maybe 3% at closing, which is going to save you the buyer's agent commission. And that's exactly what you will hire an agent to do for you. Do
Okay,
we agree on
understood.
it? Or
I'm okay with that.
perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And
just
again,
wanted to
my
know if
goal,
you could do both sides because, of my past experience. But that's okay.
yeah,
From to another
just for
agent, they have their own representation.
yeah, just for conflict interest, I just don't do it. I just refer the agent to a team member or I let them be unrepresented.
Very good.
So these are good thing for you to know that your own agent, the agent that you're going to hire, they're not just relying on the brokers to bring a buyer. They're just not relying on the MLS or Zillow or Realtor.com. I do have other sources where I do generate my own buyers and help you save the buyer's agent commission. I just want to make it clear that my intention today was to show you where we need to be, where we need to price your property, where it's actually going to where you can actually get it sold faster, which we already covered that, and also to show you how I'm going to generate buyers to your property and communication, share with you how I'm going to keep you updated about everything that's going on, has happening in your property every single week, and also to show you how I'm going to negotiate for your best interest, how I'm going to negotiate for the highest amount that I can actually get for you.
Okay, moving on.
So I'm pretty sure you are familiar with this. Multiple listing services, which is MLS, popular listing platforms, Zillow, Realtor.com, everything
Yes,
that
I'm
you know.
familiar with all this. So what will you do
But
differently?
yeah, sure. So my first biggest marketing strategy is my social media. I don't know if you know how social media is powerful nowadays. I utilize social media to attract buyers, and I will show you that in a minute. I
Okay.
also do neighborhood marketing because you'll be surprised that your buyers is actually your neighbor knows someone who can actually buy your property. So we
Mm.
do neighborhood marketing. I'm gonna break that down very briefly. So we do send flyers, coming soon flyers, just listed flyers, open houses flyers as well. And also 3 times a week, we do call the entire neighborhood just to check if they would like to pick the next neighbor and see if they have a buyer. Those who
Nice.
actually mention that, you know what, I might know someone, we are going to follow up on them every time, every week until we actually get an answer and see if we can help them. And that's how we were able to put some deals together and we were able to represent bring the buyer to the list to the seller.
Okay, question, Noemi. So when you're
Hmm.
talking about social media marketing, do you pay for ads to attract buyers, or you do it more on your own with the team and approaching the neighborhood and proactive
Yeah.
prospecting?
I will share that with you very shortly. Allow me to cover the next strategy. I just want you to know what are you actually getting from me, so you don't waste your time with any other agents who just gonna tell you what you want to hear. So another thing that I do is daily cold calling. Until your home is sold and you tell me, Noemi, I have the money in my bank account. I don't care if we have an offer. I don't care if the property is pending or clear to close. Every single day, I'm speaking to 30 to 50 people per day and looking for buyers who want to buy your property. And you might ask me, but how do you get those buyers, right? And I will show you in a minute how do I find those buyers, the list of buyers that I'm already working in that are already generated for this specific area because I am a local expert in the specific area. Also, you have the chance to do international marketing just to give you maximum exposure because I am very, very huge on maximum exposure. I would like to mention private broker and VIP showings. So private broker is basically agents that I know or brokers that I know they have a buyers and they usually work with buyers in our area for the price point that we're selling your property for. VIP showings, like I mentioned, we do daily cold calling or we reach out to neighbors. If they have someone who's really interested and want to see the property, that's what we call VIP showings, and we show them the property exclusively. And of course, we do broker and public open houses, but for your property, we will do open houses. You ask a really good question about social media. I know everybody's talking about social media because, we all know that social media is really powerful nowadays, but a lot of those agents also do have like 200 views, no engagement, no audience. They sometimes post a house and then they post with families or dogs or cats, which is not bad. But I feel like it's really important to, have two separate accounts, real estate, and family personal matters separately. So we do have dedicated Facebook account, Instagram account, YouTube account just for real estate only.
Oh,
And
great. So you do, you post the video, a tour on YouTube.
Yeah, so I will show you in a minute how it looks like. You have a whole premium medium package where you have a professional videographer who will come and take a video of the property. You also have me or an agent from my team who will do the walkthrough, actually explaining, describing the property as they walk through and posted it online. These are some platforms where I actually generate some cash buyer, not only investors, but mostly investors, and see if that works for you. This will also help you save the buyer's agent commission. So I usually use this platform to generate cash buyer for any properties that I have. I'm also a member of homes.com. So the advantage of having an agent who is a member of homes.com is when you have buyers looking online besides Zillow or Realtor.com, if they are looking in our area, the first house that they are going to see will be my listing, so which will be your property.
Okay. No,
And
just to remind you, I do know I have two other agents coming over, and the next one's
yeah,
coming in at 2 o'clock. So, that's pushing it. So,
I should have like 10 more minutes,
Okay.
and then
All
we
right.
should be
Because you
wrapping
did
up
say
this,
about 15, 20 minutes. Okay.
depending on how many questions you have.
Yes. And I haven't asked a whole lot.
It's okay. It's no problem for me. So, like I said, we are at the end. This is just a picture of me. It's not even, that might not be the best picture of me, just to show you that I'm daily cold calling buyers for your property. And also, as soon as we list your property on the market, it's going to be matched with a buyer, pre-approved buyer and cash buyer immediately. Social media platform, again, like I said, we manage one of the biggest real estate platform here. We have TikTok. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but we have over 14,000 followers. Houses only, real estate 100%. As soon as I see your property online, they are going to click and put the information. And when they do put the information, it's going to look just like this. Can you see, or the screen is dark?
The screen went dark, Noemi.
Oh, okay. So these are daily leads that we generate, buyer leads, and we usually call them. So we are not starting from point zero. We are starting from somewhere, and like any other agent who just come in and post your house on the market and just hope and pray that someone will come. I think you said that you were meeting with Linda Carter.
Yes.
Yeah. And also you mentioned meeting with Sally Martin.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, Mrs. Lily, I know how important this move is for you. And I know that you really want to get this property sold and you want to work with someone who's serious. I just like to ask you this question. How do you like everything that you see so far?
So far I like it. You've got a good program. I like how you present, and you're tough. You're hanging in there with sometimes my bluntly interrupting you.
I appreciate your comment. So, Mrs. Lily, I'm just gonna ask you because your time is really very, very precious and you're really in a time crunch. I'm sure you want to work with an experienced agent who knows what to do and how to do it. I was able to pull your next agent, Linda Carter, I believe, Zillow profile, and it appears that this agent is a buyer's agent, sold only 4 houses in the last 12 months and has a total of 9 sales in the last 12 months. Uh, in my humble opinion, because your case is really different, I'm sure that you need to work with a listing expert, someone who has already the system of working with sellers and knows what to do to generate a buyer. And I was able to pull Sally Martin. It just looks like those two buyers that you are planning on meeting with them are like buyer's agent. Are you looking for a listing agent or are you looking for a buyer's agent?
I'm looking for a pit bull listing agent.
Yeah.
So I
Mrs. Lily,
appreciate you showing this, but they called me just like you did, right? So,
yeah. And I really take it very seriously when you say that you were looking for a sincere agent. I don't want you to waste your time. Um, I mean, not to brag, just to show you that I'm coming from experience. I have helped over 40 families so far. Out of those 40 families, 30 expired, which you are inexpired. And this information is online. You can go online and you can also double check your email when I send that to you. So I am experienced in selling expired listings and I know exactly what needs to be done. Um, I know we are running out of time. You mentioned that communication was very important to you. I want to cover that really quickly so you know what is coming when you hire me. A lot of sellers in a position they usually say, "Oh my gosh, I hire a ghost," because they never heard back from the agent after they sign a contract. But with me, you do receive a weekly report of what I have been doing, what I did, who called, uh, feedback, everything. And if you do not receive a feedback, your weekly report, you do get $1,000, and you have the opportunity to fire me on spot, no questions. And if you want to continue and I miss the next week, then you get another $1,000. These are serious attack communications, so you should expect that from me.
excellent.
And your Your weekly report will look like this. You have 12 showings, one offer. Online inquiries just means buyers from my social media platform. And you also have a breakdown of, some questions that we ask the agent. We do not ask questions like, did you like the window, the carpet, the layout? Obviously, they know how it looks. So we do ask three important questions. First, were you able to access the property? You'll be surprised how many agents don't even know how to use the lockbox. Second, are we expecting any offers? If not, what can I do to make it happen? We need to be sure that sorry. Oh, I need to be sure that, I know exactly what is needed to make a deal work. Third, if we're not receiving any offer, we might receive an offer at what price your buyer is willing to buy this property. So if I had to come back to you and say, hey, Mrs. Lily, we need to drop the price based on what? Based on the buyer's feedback, this buyer said that they are willing to buy the property for 440, 445, or 448. At least we have some numbers. Since you say you're a numbers person, you have some numbers on where we need to drop the price. Any questions on that?
No, very good.
Yeah. So with this level of service, Mrs. Lily, and with everything that I'm going to provide to you, I was not only able to show you what I do, but I'm also going to show you how I can negotiate for the highest amount possible for you before we even talk about the commission. And sorry. What I wanted to mention is marketing is wonderful. Communication is great. Pricing the property is good. Like I said, I'm not here for a quick sell. I'm here to get you the most money possible. This is some example of what I was able to do for some of my past clients. This property closed. It was listed under 1 million, 19 days on the market, 30-day contract. I was the agent and sold above $100,000. This is my negotiation skill. And then you have another one here at 360. The seller said 1% commission, 24 days on the market, $10,000 above the asking price. And again, you have another one here listed at 280, 7 days on the market, so $13,000 above the asking price. Is this something that you're looking in an agent that you want to hire? Someone who's not desperate, who wants to get every penny that they can get on the table.
Of course, but I see that these were also back in 2023. The market was very different back then. So there were many properties that sold over list price. So that doesn't compare to now.
I do want to mention that this property was listed twice before I took over. This property was listed once before I took over. That was in 2024. That was in 2023. And there's another one that was in 2025. I can show that to you. And I like that you pay attention to the years, because what I want to share with you is here how my negotiation skill has been consistent in every year in every kind of market. And I can show you one for 2025 as well. So
yes, I'll see your
it doesn't matter.
2025 because the market was different in 2023 and 2024.
And you are right.
But I like the fact that you price them well and you price them maybe below the market because you're an expired listing expert. This is one of your expertise. Then you're a little bit more aggressive with the pricing, which is good to lead maybe to a potential multiple offer or get them sold quickly. So I like that approach.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I thought I had.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Oops. I had so many windows open.
And you know what? I texted the other agent that, we may be a little bit behind schedule. So.
Sure. So this is another property sold in 2025. And if you pay attention, it's different market, different year. And
Okay, I don't see a shared screen, so is it me or is it not? Okay, there we
Chelsea,
go.
do you see?
Okay, now I see it. Yes.
So this property was listed $1 under 370. I was the agent and sold above the asking price, 375. No seller's concession. The seller wanted 380. Do you think the seller was happy?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm bringing to you, Mrs. Liddy. If we
Could you
do,
scroll down a little bit? No, I'm sorry. Scroll
go
back.
up.
So yeah, so that I can see. Okay, so you had it originally 369, 999. And how long was this property listed prior to you?
Yes, and this property was listed twice. It was on the market for a year before I took over, and I was able to put on the contract in 45 days.
Okay, they tried to sell it in 2023.
Yeah.
The end of 2024 and
So
finished
it was on the market the
January.
first time in 2023 for 87 days. They took it off the market, put it back again in 2024 for 216 days. I took over the listing in 45 days on the market. The property was sold above the asking price.
Okay, so you aggressively advised them to price it correctly. Is that correct?
And not only that, my negotiation skill play a huge part on that. A
Excellent.
very huge
Okay.
part, especially the fact that we were on the market for 45 days. People usually think because you were on the market for this long, then we can just lowball you. It's not gonna happen with me. Mrs. Lily, with everything that I'm bringing to you, the level of marketing and negotiation skill that I'm bringing to you, at what price do you think, like, what is the commission that you believe we should be paid for?
Okay, so you want what price or what commission?
Well, commission, sorry.
Okay, so I was paying the other agent, I guess 2.5%, but it didn't sell. So I want it sold.
Okay.
I like your strategy. You do something similar to me as far as showing the numbers, the calculation, how you did the calculator right away. And you're an expired expert. I like that, or I should say I love that. And educating the sellers on the third or fourth time around to price it right and get it sold. And it looks, based on what you showed me, that that's what you have been succeeding in doing. So I like your presentation, the fact that you showed that 2 other agents are mainly focused on buyers. And so I like your presentation. So as far as the commission, what do you ask for?
That's the average commission, 2.5% for this price point for me. And I
Really?
think that, yeah, I think that's enough for to invest in the marketing that I need to do for your home
On the seller side, right?
on the
Okay,
listing side.
so what happens with the buyer side?
So you have the choice to, choose how much you want to pay them. I usually suggest to start at 2%, and then if only we have to negotiate, then 2.5%. And I can already tell you right now, out of the 40 families that I helped, removing 3 buyers, which were friends and family members, so 37. So out of the 37 clients that I helped, sellers that I helped, only 2 of them paid 3% to the
Excellent.
buyer's agent commission. I'm not here to cut the commission, but I also want, I'm looking at your numbers and see how it's going to look like at closing, and potentially utilizing that option to also get you the most money possible. For example, if you want me to pay you 3%, then bring me 450 if we are listed at 445. So that also I use as a tool to negotiate and get you the highest money possible that I can get.
I understand, Noemi. Commission is important, and being a prior realtor and a waitress, I like to give excellent service and get the best, and I don't like to cut the representative or the realtor's commission. You know, it's me who needs to sell and wants to sell. And so, yes. All right.
And
So what
and
happens
what
next?
so I think you should receive an email if you haven't received yet. I was just completing the price. I just want to be sure that, and I want you to know, even if we do list the property at 445 or the final amount that we do agree on, I am still going to work hard to get you the highest amount possible, at least $5,000 or $10,000 more. So that's something that I don't want to overpromise, but that's something that you need to know, that I will do that and I will do my best to make it happen. I do want to ask you this question. I know we went over the numbers. We all agreed that we needed to be around 445 and 446.
Well, you had showed me 449 to 453. However, I don't think that's going to work. So the number I had in mind was 445. So you're right on the dot.
Okay. So what I'm actually looking at here is a 445 price and shooting for 450, 2.5% list price, buyer's agent starting commission 2%. And that is gonna be for a 60 days contract because the average days on the market is 30 days. How comfortable are you with those terms?
Very comfortable, actually.
Mrs. Lily, if you wanna go ahead, I like to keep my contract very simple. I already send it over to you to your email. You don't have to worry about Linda or Sally. I'm gonna call them very nicely and see if I can work with them because they're buyers specialists, and see if I can work with them to bring me a buyer if they have any buyer in the area. And let's see, but we will still be working on our end to find your buyer as well. Would you like me to do that for you?
Actually, yes. I like your presentation. I like your boldness, your plan, your marketing, your past experience, and what
Thank
you
you.
recommended. That was right on the dot on what I had in mind. So yes, I'm ready to go with you.
Mrs.
Congrats,
Lily, I'm
Noemi.
really, really,
Yeah, awesome
uh,
job.
I am
Yeah.
excited to be working with you, and I'm really, really looking forward to see you at the closing table this time.
Okay, and I'll sign them online like I had, you had asked me if I wanted hard copy or digital, and I said, hey, send them to me digital because it's 4th of July, you know, we're going to be running around and meeting with family. So
Okay.
yes,
Do
let's
you
do
wanna,
this and get it sold. Now, Noemi, if we get to the point to where you attract buyers or buyer agents and they insist on 2.5% for the buyer. You know, I respect the work that buyer agents do because I've done some of those also, and I'm very aggressive with, uh, you know, asking for the commission that I want because, you know, we do an awesome job and we get the job done. So it's like
Yeah.
attorneys and doctors and all that, you know, we got to pay the price for an experienced realtor. So we can deal with that if for some reason they ask for more. Okay.
Yeah, we can use it as a tool to negotiate for the highest amount possible that we can get, of course.
Very good.
Sounds good. I just got your signatures back. The next step will be you are going to receive an onboarding email from Becky. Becky is going to be our assistant, and then we should be able to schedule pictures and putting the sign up. I remember you said that you have cats in the home. When are you going back home so we can meet and probably get the keys and see how I can help you clean out a little bit?
Yeah. When do you plan to come? This coming week?
Are you already back here? Because I remember you mentioned you were out of town
Yes, I was out of town, but I'll be back by Monday.
by Monday. Okay. I will schedule something maybe Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning, and you should be hearing from Becky very soon
Yeah, let's do it
bring
for
up.
like Tuesday, you know, so I get back and clean up after my cats, even though they're pretty good because they're indoor outdoor cats. So they have a kitty window that they go out at their leisure. So when somebody comes in, they disappear.
Okay, great then. All right, Mrs. Lily, it was a pleasure meeting with you today, and I'm really looking forward to get this property sold. Talk to you soon.
It is sold. Thank you,
Thank you.
Noemi.
I love it. Wow, what a presentation. Superstar Naomi Lalamba. I mean, you are absolutely amazing with your data. Okay, so superstar Lily Handy Dominguez, please provide superstar Naomi your feedback on her presentation today.
Okay, she had Noemi, you did an awesome job. Okay, you had a really good presentation. It flowed well. I probably could have gotten to the numbers quicker, okay, with some of the marketing, and I know you wanted to express detail. I love the fact that you pulled up the calculator and you ran the numbers, which is type of thing that I do. And when we were checking as to what would be the right price based on the price per square foot, and so that was excellent. Your marketing is great. You prospect, love that. And you know, I kept pushing, okay, let's go on. But then I'm like, okay, well, let me listen, because you know, you made a very good point on researching Linda Carter and Sally Martin, which was interesting, okay, because I just pulled them out of my head. And and stressing that they were buyer agents, right? And you're a listing agent. That's a major, major factor when a seller wants to sell a property. So that was an excellent point. Gee, on the commission, when I said that I paid the prior buyer a listing agent 2.5%, but it didn't get sold. I thought you were going to say 3, and I was going to say, yay, I'll do it. However, you came with 2.5%. Which is great. I would have accepted 3%. Okay. But if that's your norm, you know, 2.5%, you know, that's great. I like the fact that you said you're great at negotiation. You showed your stats, you know, your trend from the past. You know, that's really good. And the side-to-side comparison with the comparables, that's excellent. That's how I like to see. I'm visual, but I see the numbers and the detail, you know, quickly that way, instead of showing all the pictures and that type of thing. The other properties that you showed seemed nicer to the one that was mined. So that was very convincing to see that, okay, I was going to have to, you know, price it less by showing those 3 properties on the same, 2 properties on the same street. So you were excellent. You answered all my questions. You were smooth, firm, confident, and experienced. So great job.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Mrs.
Fantastic.
Lily.
Thank you so much, superstar Lily Handy Dominguez. Superstar Naomi Lalamba, how do you feel about your presentation today?
Um, you know, I like facts. I like people to tell me where I'm wrong. I really do love it. So I'm really looking forward to hear what other people have to say. But what I have to say about my presentation is this is not normally how I do it. I'm really usually like higher energy, more, you know, confident. I don't think I was at my best as I'm usually. So if you felt that, I really don't blame you at all. So I must say that I have a lot in my mind because of the 4th of July. And also, I really like the fact that I understood what she wanted and I was able to provide that to her. And also she was keep on mentioning, well, I have 2 other agents, but what, guess what? I already pulled them out. So do you want to waste your time? That's something I really do like. And beside that, I mean, I'm not used to say things about me, so I want to hear what people have to say and where I need to, you know, perfection myself.
Okay, well, we will definitely bring it. We'll bring
So
it. For
sorry
sure.
to interrupt. I just have a quick question. So the 2 agents that I mentioned to you, are they actually real agents?
Oh, no. I just did a Canva thing.
Okay, all right.
But I usually
Excellent.
ask sellers, who are you meeting with? If I have names, I'm just gonna pull them and bring them to them if they don't have a good track record. If they do have a good track record, I'm not bringing my competition.
Yeah, so that tells me you paid good attention when I mentioned their names yesterday.
Yeah.
So excellent.
All right. Thank you so much, superstar Naomi Lalamba and superstar Lily Handy Dominguez. Superstar Christian DeBosch.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. This was a wonderful presentation. And here in Tampa, it's a downpour, so this was a great break from the dreariness of the day. The critique that I can give you some critiques. I think your presentation in terms of the display materials was excellent. It was easy to digest the information, and it was clear you had a lot of information. But I think in terms of how the mapping of your presentation went, I think it was very back end heavy or bottom heavy, meaning you didn't give the Lily a good indication of the roadmap, in my opinion. I'm like, stop. You didn't give, I'm sorry, that was my son, he's off, obviously. You didn't give a good indication of the roadmap, meaning when she gave you the indication towards, I think, 20, 30 minutes in, a meeting with other agents, I think that was her way of saying, get to the point. Because she mentioned that phrase several times. So I think one thing you can do with your presentation, because it's really great and easy to digest, is you just having a better framework as to where we are in your presentation, where we're at the beginning, the middle, the end, kind of like the old adage, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So I think that was the one critique I would give, because your presentation didn't seem very responsive to Lily's personality. I think she was much of a driver in this situation. So you could tailor it to her her personality, even though you have all the information and you have a command of the information. I would recommend that either you tighten it up a little bit, but also give a good almost table of contents as to where we are in the presentation and where we're going. But otherwise, it was amazing to watch. Thank you.
That's really funny that you say that, because I just thought about it last week. I had an exhausting listing presentation with not a drive. I'm sorry, I'm a French speaker, but the other personality more who like to, go through the things. And I felt like, oh my God, this is exhausting. I need to find a way to make it shorter and or maybe better explain. So I really do appreciate your feedback.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Superstar Christian DeBosch. Does anyone else have any feedback, comments, or questions for Superstars Naomi Lalomba or Superstar Lily Handy Dominguez? Anyone? Okay, so let me just say this was an amazing presentation. I knew that it was going to be awesome. I knew it from past history based on the past. I knew that this was going to be awesome. Naomi, you really, again, for being an agent who has been licensed for 3.5 years, you come with a lot of experience. And I know you said that you've gotten a lot of your experience from your mother and her training. And I'm telling you,
Oh, from my mentor, Jessica Nelson. My mother is just an investor.
okay. Your mentor, Jessica Nelson. Okay. And is she in your office or what?
Yes, she's here in Texas. She's my mentor. Well,
Okay,
she stopped mentoring me because I'm good on my own now. But yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now, it was interesting when you mentioned that there are usually three things that are wrong with a property. If a property doesn't sell quickly, and you said condition, price, and the agent. And I think it would have been better if you had prefaced that, because Lily had already told you that she wasn't a retired agent. And we all know that the three items that usually are mentioned are price, condition, and location. So I would have prefaced that. I would have said, oh, okay. So I see you shook your head. I would
Oh,
have.
no. I shook my head, like I didn't know that. I always learned it was
Oh,
price,
okay.
condition, and
Yeah,
agent.
yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
if it's the
very
price, the
common.
condition is, oh yeah. No, I
I
didn't
mean,
know that. I just,
even in real estate school, that's something that
oh,
they usually tell you.
oh.
Now, I've been licensed for many, many years, so and I know
Huh.
you've told us that you're a Gen Z,
Yeah.
so if things may be very, very different, Lily. We may be behind the times,
I don't
Lily.
know.
You
Let's
and
keep on that.
I, Lily and I, we may be behind the times, and it may very well. I mean, because actually, I thought it was excellent. I thought it was excellent the way that you came back and you explained it after Lily mentioned price, location, and condition. You came back with how you were able to justify condition, price, and the agent, because it is our responsibility to get the property sold. And I like it that you put it back on us. I really did appreciate that. I also like the fact that at one point you said that you're not here for a quick sale, but you're here to get the most amount of money for Lily to be able to walk away with. And that's what every seller wants to hear. Um, and I also really loved when you said you can never underprice a home, but you can overprice it. And with overpricing, we'll be able to create the auction effect and have a bidding war to bring in multiple offers. Again, the way that you're able to explain these things to sellers, I mean, they really cannot dispute what you're saying at all. And then, of course, having the data, because the data is the educator. You really don't have to say a whole lot. But now, Lily, I've never encountered a seller who, after you ask them based on the data, what price do you feel we should price your home at? And Lily just kept coming back with, I want you to tell me what you think the price should be. You were very, very accommodating. You were never knocked off of your square. You kept your composure, because I would have said, lady, no, I'm just kidding. No,
Because
but
I know the first to set the price to lose, and I didn't want that to come out of my mouth.
and you
But she
handled
pushed
that.
me.
Yeah, you handled that very, very well. um but yeah, I mean, the data spoke for itself. It really did. When Lily was talking about the property that had been on the market for 128 days, and she asked you, well, why was this property on the market for 128 days? I mean, maybe I would have said it could be because the owner has some very strict showing restrictions, or you know what I mean. It could be any number of reasons, why that house is still sitting for 128 days. But that's not our concern. We want to get your house sold within 29 days. I also like how you made a change here, because yes, we do talk about active and passive agents, but you kept saying, I'm an active and aggressive agent. Active and aggressive agent. You said that about 3 times. And you also said, with pricing and aggressive marketing, we will be able to create magic. I like that phrase. We will be able to create magic. I also like the way that you were able to explain away the fact that you were not comfortable with having the listing and also taking care of the buyer, because there are some brokerages that will not allow that. My brokerage, we can, but a lot of brokerages do not want to do that for the very reason that you stated, Naomi.
And to make a comment, Noemi, EXP does allow it. They don't necessarily like it because most agents are not comfortable doing, but I've done it with 5 years at EXP. I've done multiple transactions where I do
Depends
both
on your
sides.
broker. Yeah, again,
Is it in
depends on
Texas
your
here?
broker.
In Texas?
Yes, in Texas, because I'm in San Antonio, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
every time
can do
as
it.
I say, refer them, refer them. I said, no, but I can get 2 commissions. They said, refer them. I didn't know that. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna ask.
love getting 2 commissions.
So you may want to check on that then, Naomi, if you're, I mean, if
Well,
it's
I asked
okay
at least 4 times. They told me I need to refer. I need to refer.
interesting. Okay.
It's one thing to be fair, but it's another thing to say, hey, I am comfortable, wearing the seller hat and then taking that off, educating the buyer. And when you attract a lot of buyers through your signs, your marketing, they come to you, all right? And they want to work with you and have the opportunity, like, well, maybe I can get a better price because now you're going to do both sides. I just repeat over and over, I cannot represent you. I will write the offer for you, and I can't negotiate with you. I'll just give you whatever's online. You have to do your own research, but I will facilitate, okay, the transaction. My duty is to my seller. If not, I can get you an agent to represent you. And the majority always say, no, that's okay. I trust you.
Very good, very good. Also, another thing that I really liked that you provided for us today, Naomi, is your weekly report. And if I don't honor this, then I will give you $1,000 or you can fire me. Bold statement. No one else is doing that. You're the only one. So now there will be many, many others who will probably put that in to their listing presentation, but this is the very first time that I've heard that one. And then when you were able to display to Lily your negotiation skills, and how even though you showed, 2023, 2024, and 2025, I thought it was kind of funny when Lily, I mean, because she told us right from the very beginning, I'm a numbers person, so she was looking at the year. And she said, well, look, that was way back in 2023 and the market was different and et cetera, et cetera. And you told her, but this is just to show you that my negotiation skills have been consistent each and every year. again, you let your data do the talking. I mean, just it was just absolutely flawless, 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 flawless. Now this is what I did not like. Why would you ask the seller what commission would you like to pay me? I mean, what is that all about? Where did that come? Now I know good and well Jessica didn't tell you to do that.
Sorry, no. Yeah, that's not how I phrase it. Like I said, I think it's just what I have in my mind today. So I try my best to do my best. Really do apologize for certain things. But I didn't know how to phrase it properly. Usually, I don't think so that I ever got to the point where I have to ask, how much do you want to pay me? Usually they ask me and I just go over some commission structure, and because I have different structure. Usually they say, well, I'm comfortable. Well, I'm paying 2.5%. Usually they share that with me. Say, and I know you mentioned that you were comfortable paying the listing agent 2.5% commission. Well, based on what I can bring to you, based on the price point of your property, I am confident that I will have enough budget to invest in the market of a property. So this actually works perfectly fine with me. Or I can say, you know what, Mr. Seller, we can do a commission structure. If I sell your property on the price, you pay me 2%, at the asking price, 2.5%, or above the asking price, 3%. It just depends on how the conversation goes around it. I don't think so I have a specific way, but that phrase, I don't think so that I ever say that like this. I think even when I said it myself, I was like, what the hell, what am I saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think really with what you're bringing to the table, just based on today's presentation, I mean, you should be getting 3% or more. I mean, honestly.
Um, yeah,
But
that
again,
is
it
true.
depends, it depends on your own comfort level. It
Yeah.
depends on where you are in terms of, what you view as value, but I'm just speaking from agent to agent. There's no one else. I doubt very seriously if other agents are bringing to a presentation what you brought to us today. And
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't want, I mean, really,
No,
um,
I do have some sellers paying 4.5%, 2.5%. I have a bottom line. My bottom line is 8% because some sellers don't have enough equity. You're not just gonna force 3% on them and just for the, I can work my way around that. So okay, because you don't have enough equity, let's do 2% or 3%.
mhm, mhm.
Sometimes I have really negative equity. I don't have any money. They need someone to help them. But if I do that, I don't do certain things and I do disclose that, okay, I'm gonna do this for 2%, but I'm not gonna do this, that. But my
Mhm.
average commission is 2.5% to 3%. But sometimes I do get paid 4.5%.
Okay,
Depends.
fantastic, fantastic. But again, I thought it was an awesome, awesome, awesome presentation, and I'm just so happy that you were able to come here today. Superstar Lily Handy Dominguez.
Okay, what I just wanted to say on your commission, Noemi, I gave you an opening to ask for 3 or
Okay.
more. When I said, well, the prior agent, charged me 2.5, but they didn't get it sold. So that was a cue. Say, hey, well, my fee is 3%. Great. I'll take it based on your presentation, your stats, okay, what you've done for other people in 2023, 24, 25. Yeah, you deserve that. You could have gotten that from me, okay? I would have
Yeah.
given it to you because I value uh, an experienced, especially, expired second time or third time, property going on the market that's going to get it sold. And what you showed, your numbers, I mean, it was excellent. That was
A lot
proof.
of sellers don't think like that. And that's what I don't ever say the number. I let them say it.
Hmm.
A lot of sellers don't really think like that, but there are some who really do think like that, who feel like you deserve, and that's why I'm able to get 4.5%. But the bottom line is 2.5%. 2% is really if you can show me that you have negative equity and you have to bring money to the table because first I'm here to help and serve.
I
Okay,
love
because I hear a
But
lot
I
of
like that.
realtors in Dallas, they charge 3, 4, and they're firm on it. But yes, I can
Yeah.
understand if that's what your you know, comfortable with and
And
what
based
you're
on the
going to
property
do.
too, based on the
Pardon me?
property too, sorry, based on the property too, if it's a luxury home or a house that I feel like I need like very high-end professional video, I can't do 2% or 2.5%. I'm gonna have to be firm on 3%. So it's just based on, I mean, like I said, I really love those feedbacks. It really helped me and kind of make me feel like, oh my gosh, am I under like not value myself enough? That's what I feel. But I think I'm also seeing a different way where some people really don't have equity, or some houses don't even need a lot. So let's just stay there and let's just move forward with that, you know.
Yes, and you're a very caring agent, so you take everything into consideration, which is awesome, awesome. Superstar Mary Philkoff. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
You did. Thank you so much. Wow. So first of all, Lily, you handed it to her so hard. And what I loved is that she was so calm answering the questions, like Dot said. I mean, she took what you were saying, she answered it, approved it, and then went on to the next point that she wanted to make. And Naomi, you need to give yourself more credit because you are definitely worth 3%. And as Jim always states, if you don't ask, you don't get. So so I work out of Austin and I'm getting my contract signed at 6%, taking 3, giving away 3. I don't want, and what I feel like is that this helps all of us as agents, because as soon as we start cutting, then someone's going to undercut that and someone's going to undercut that. And pretty soon it will be hard for us to get the 3% or even 2.5. So don't sell yourself short, because you are definitely worth that entire 3%. And ask for it, and ask for it with confidence and a smile. And then if they say no, sometimes I'll go to, 2 3/4 on my side. I always want to get 3% for the other side though. And I know that with all the commission changes now, obviously a seller does not have to pay a commission, but it's what's going to get their home sold. And so I do bring that up on my listing presentations. But bravo on basically standing up to Lily. Oh my God. I was so nervous for you the whole time, thinking,
I think
this,
I checked her track record too, and I
oh,
was like, oh my gosh.
well, here's the thing. It was like a real listing presentation. There was no spoon feeding at all. It was exactly what we deal with every day. So you did a great job, and thanks to both of you.
Thank you for the
Thank
feedback.
you. Thank you so much, Superstar Mary Philkoff. That was that was an awesome information that you provided there, especially with regard to our compensation. I would say that that was a pro tip for all of us to keep in mind for sure. Superstar Reginald Patterson.
One thing and just to add to it, one thing that helped me with it, I thought you did an awesome job. It helped me because I was at that, I was doing like the 2.5% until I started talking to people and they were like, well, they do this amount or that amount. I said, you know what, on every listing, I'm going to allocate 0.5% to marketing. And that helped me like look at it differently and say, okay, because I know that 0.5% marketing is going to generate more buyers potentially as well through like like street tags or social funds going to it or property boost or things like that. And so that helped me to kind of digest it even from a standpoint of, adding more. But you the real deal. Everybody not doing it. That's your listing presentation. Everybody not doing that. Trust me. I'm in Chicago too, so I'm not in Texas, but I'm like, I was taking a whole bunch of notes. So
Thank you so much, Superstar Reginald Patterson. I'm telling you, Naomi, there's no other agent in even where you're located who's doing or who's conducting a listing presentation at the very high level that you presented today. I mean, I would be willing to bet that $1,000 that you would give your clients. I'm willing to bet that there's not another agent who would provide that kind of listing presentation. All right, thank you so much, Superstar Reginald Patterson. Does anyone else have any feedback, questions, or comments for Superstar Naomi Lalumba or Superstar Lily Handy Dominguez?
Hey, Dot.
Yes, Superstar Jonetta Ferguson.
Hey, I like kind of turning things upside down a bit, and I kind of like her asking the question, what commission do you think basically you value me at? Because it's going to tell a lot about your relationship that you're going to have going forward with that client. And then you can always come back and say, oh, at 2.5, well, my standard is this. And based on, it's like based on the information I've shared with you, how much are you willing to pay in commission? What is the value that you're putting on what I bring to the table? And if they say 2.5, you can say, hey, my standard is 3, and based on this, you get this. Based on a 2.5, this is what you can afford, that I bring you. Based on a 3, this is the full throttle pretty much. And, I've gone up to even 4%, and with a 4% tier, this is all the things that I bring you. So I kind of like things sometimes like that rebel raiser. It is like, okay, so what do you think I'm worth? And then when they say, oh, you're worth a two, let me tell you what I bring to the table. Let's be clear on what it is that I'm bringing and how I'm going to get this property sold. So let me remind you, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, or whatever. And my standard is no less than a 3, but at a 4, I can even give you this.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much, Superstar Jonetta Ferguson. And I do know a lot of agents do have those tier packages when it comes to compensation. I personally prefer Jim Chamberlain's strategic way of, getting to the commission or compensation. This is what it is, and that's it. Next question, or do you have any other questions? That's how I operate. Superstar Lily Handy Dominguez.
I know we were pressed on time, but these are always awesome. And so I'm going to comment again about the commission. So, like I'm glad Mary Philkoff mentioned that in Austin, right? Because Austin is a very also competitive market, and it's close to me. But I stick firm at 3, and I don't remember when I've ever done less than 3, and I've been in the market in 3 different markets for many years. And especially with expireds, Noemi, is they haven't sold it once or twice before. And I love to help people. I have a big heart for helping. Okay. However, they want to get it sold, and they want somebody that's going to make it happen. If they're having surgery, if they've got cancer, if they've got something, they're going to research doctors, dentists, or whatever, and get the best. And I brought recently to a 4-time expired property, okay, that I'm like, look, because I also said, based on all this, so many agents have already done professional photos and open houses and all this and that, right? And now, and only given them 3 months. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm charging a transaction fee of $500, on this property, and my fee is 3%. And so they'll ask me, well, why are you charging $500? And I'm like, well, why are you asking? This is the 4th or 5th time that it's going to be on the market. I says, when you go to a doctor, you go to a dentist, you go to a lawyer, I said, you're going to pay a flat fee. Do you ask them to negotiate? They're not going to. They have their fee. And we need to respect and be proud of what we do. And we're helping them get the job done, right? And so, I've learned through Jim and through other mentors that we have to be firm and respect what we do, even when we care a lot to help them. When it gets down to the bottom of it, I have asked lenders, title companies, everyone to contribute to make a transaction close if someone is struggling. And I'm like, look, it's better to get something than get nothing, but not right. And so I push it hard to everybody else. I said, you want the business at the title company, you want the business as a lender, then you have the capability to also help make this close. and it works. You know, I don't ask them, I just tell them. And so the same here. So I think as everyone has commented, Noemi, 3%, you deserve it. Okay. And what you're doing is awesome. And you have a big heart and it comes across and you want to do the best. Just I understand your structure. I don't have a structure. I'm just 3%. Okay. And that's it.
Yeah.
I ask for 3% for the buyer agent. And when they say, well, I don't have to pay the buyer agent. Oh, do you want to sell? Do you want to attract as many buyers and realtors as possible? How many realtors do you think are going to come show your house if you don't offer anything?
Great.
Unfortunately, you know, ethically, we're not supposed to do that, but we make a living. We're providing a service. And the buyer agent works as hard, okay, as the listing agent in a different, you know, way. So I believe both deserve at least a 3. However, you know, when it comes down to closing, hey, let's make it work. So anyway, that's
so
my
much.
final 2 cents.
Superstar Lily Dominguez, Superstar Felita.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just have a quick comment. First of all, I'll say, Noemi, you did a phenomenal job, truly a great job with all of the different comments. I was driving most of the time, but I'm going to go back and listen and take a few notes of some things to add into my presentation. I do agree with a lot of the feedback that I've heard from some of the other folks on the line, but the one thing that I didn't hear that I wanted to mention was that when you start to hear those closing signs, those buying signs, she's buying into your commission, she's buying into your strategy, I would say speed up the close and go for getting the paperwork done. There are many times when we have a presentation and we know what we're planning to say and we want to tell all the things that we think are important, but you can cut all of that short when they say, I'm ready to do it. I love your strategy. I love your social media. I love this. You just need to cut all that other stuff out and say, I'm sending you my listing agreement. So that would be the only feedback that I would have in addition to what others have said.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Superstar Felita. Superstar Amy. You're on mute, Amy.
Yeah, hi. I had a question. So somebody mentioned that you if a buyer is unrepresented, you help them write the contract, the purchase contract. So which forms do you use and what do you write for the agent? Like if you're not representing, are you the buyer's agent? You're not, right?
No, Amy, you're not the buyer's agent. You're simply writing up the
Oh,
contract.
the question was to me or to Lily?
To you.
To anybody
Oh,
who I don't remember who had asked.
Yeah, because I know Lily mentioned about representing the buyers at this, not representing the buyers, but helping out the buyers.
Yeah.
Well, that's Lily, but me personally, I just, because some sellers, I had an issue with the seller before. Oh, I feel like you're not working in my favor and all that. So I just like to be clear that I'm not dealing with the buyer at all. I'm not even talking to them. I just refer them to the agent, just to let you know that they came from my source, so you know that I'm working for you, but they have been assigned. So I just like to disassociate myself immediately.
Yeah, I understand. But the question is, if you're helping them write the contract, write up the contract. So in the contract, you use car forms, right? And
That's Lily. That's for Lily. I don't do that.
yes, Amy, you're writing up the contract just as you would any other buyer's contract, but you're not representing the buyer. For instance, I sold a property. I had a listing and the brother of the owner wanted to buy the house, but I was not representing the brother. I simply wrote out the contract or the offer, and we went back and forth. But I did not provide the brother with any comparables. He was on his own. I did not give him any information about the home inspector. He was on his own. So he had to do all of that on his own. I simply prepared the paperwork. That's
right.
it.
But the agency disclosure form, what do you write in that? I mean, do you write?
I
So,
put in
and
there that I'm representing the seller. On the agency disclosure form that I'm providing to him, the brother, it simply said that I and my brokerage, we represent the seller. That's it. He's an unrepresented buyer. That's it.
Okay.
Amy,
All right,
and on the contract, you know, where it gets down to, you know, who represents the seller, who represents the buyer. So
Yeah.
I'm representing the seller, right? So on the buyer said the other broker, I write on there, not represented. Okay, I type on the other broker, I just say not represented, make it very clear.
It's
Okay.
easy. It's easy, Amy. And you
Okay.
know, you may want to also talk to your broker. If
Thank
you're
you.
not sure about that, you definitely want to do that.
Correct.
Araceli, do you still have a question? Araceli Hernandez, do you still have a question? I saw your question in the chat. Do you want to ask that question? Okay. All right. So I think that's it, everybody. Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, it had been something about the price, like bringing the price down, or something about lowering the price on a home. I think that the comment was something about you could always put a low price on a home and it'll sell, but if you put a high price, it will not sell, something like that. And so I was thinking, if we do have a low price on a home, how do we know the price was too low? Is it because we're getting so many buyers all coming in at the same week, or some, very quickly? And if so, then how do we raise that price? Is it recommended to raise the price a little more? And how do we do that?
Based on your
Uh,
comparables, you can get your CMA together, and you will see where the houses are priced above market value, below market value. And generally speaking, anytime you price a house below market value, you're automatically going to get a lot more buyers. And we've had agents who have provided little graphs that will show you the percentage of, approximately how many more additional buyers you will get based on where you are pricing your property: below market value, and above market value. So below market value, generally speaking, you're going to get a whole lot of buyers and a whole lot of interest, and you are creating that auction effect that Naomi was talking about, and you are creating a bidding war more often than not. And usually the seller will end up getting more than they had hoped for the property because of
Okay, so
Are
then
you
it's not.
referring to the real estate rule of thumb, to where you have like no showing to one showing, no offers, the house is overpriced by 10%, and showings but not offer, the house is overpriced by 5%. This is just the real estate rule of thumbs. And if it's underpriced, if it's multiple showings, multiple offers, that means the house is underpriced by 2%, so you are likely going under contract.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
Yes. And I learned that from Take 52 as well. Exactly what you just said, Naomi. I learned that during the many Take 52 sessions that we've had, when expert real estate agents would give us that information, for sure. All right. Well, I think that's it, everybody. And so thank you so much, Superstar Naomi Lalomba and Superstar Lily Handy Dominguez, for an amazing presentation today. Again, we're walking away with some awesome information that we can put into our real estate toolbox. And next Friday, everyone, Superstar Ernesto Solis will be providing his expired listing presentation inspired by Mike Ferry, and Superstar Philip Ma will be the seller. That's here next Friday at 1 p.m. So everyone, have a happy 4th of July holiday weekend. And let's all unmute. And on the count of 3, we'll say, take those listings. 1, 2, 3.
Take
Take
those
those
listings.
listings. Happy
Go
4th of
happy
July,
4th.
everybody.
Happy
Thanks, Dot.
4th of
Thanks, everyone.
July. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you,
Love y'all.
Noemi. Thank you, Dot.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Hey, Dad, taking noses? Hey, Dad.
It's loose.